Lesson 4-5 is zeros in the quotient, and it's pretty quick, so we're just going to do one example, and then we'll move on to your homework. So if I have 830 divided by 4, I'm going to use the same steps as I had in 4-4 when I do my long division. Divide, multiply, subtract, compare, and bring down. So let's start with divide. And we're going to start with the hundreds place, which is 8 divided by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now I'm going to multiply. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract 8 minus 8, which is 0. Compare, is my 0 smaller than my 4? It is, so I can move on and bring down my 3. Now I have 3 divided by 4. Well, 3 is too small. I can't multiply 4 by anything to get to 3. So I have to put a 0 there. Because 4 times 0 is 0. I can't leave it blank because we're working in the 10 spot, and you can't have a blank spot in the middle of your number. So you must have a 0. 4 times 0 is 0, and then I subtract. 3 minus 0 is 3. I compare. Is the 3 smaller than the 4? It is. So I can move on and bring down my 0. Now I have 30 divided by 4. 30 divided by 4 is 7. Multiply 4 times 7, 28. Subtract. I have to regroup. So I have 10 minus 8, which is 2, and 2 minus 2, which is 0. There's nothing left to bring down. The 2 is smaller than the 4, so I am done with 207, remainder 2. Let's go ahead and look at number 1 in your practice book. 490 divided by 7. So the process is going to be exactly the same as our other long division. We're going to start in the hundreds place, 4 divided by 7. Well, 4 is too small for 7 to go into. You can't multiply 7 by anything, so I'm just going to put an X up there. You could put a 0, but because it's the beginning of the number, you can put an X instead. So now I'm going to look at 49. 7 can go into 49, so when I divide it, it goes in 7 times. 7 times 7 is 49, and I subtract. 49 minus 49 is 0. Now you'd think we'd be done because your new answer is 0, but we can't finish yet because we have another 0 that we have to bring down. So if I bring down that 0, my answer is still 0, but I still have to divide into that 0 because we have no number in our ones place for the quotient. So we still have to divide, and anything into 0 is just going to be 0. So 7 times 0 is 0. When you subtract, you know that 0 minus 0 is still 0. And our final answer is 70. Number 2. 326 divided by 3. So start in the hundreds place. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Now I multiply. 3 times 1 is 3. Subtract. 3 minus 3 is 0. Compare. Is my 0 smaller than my 3? It is. I can move on and bring down the 2. Now 2 is too small for 3 to go into. I can't divide 2 divided by 3. So I know I'm going to have to multiply by 0. Remember, you have to put that 0 in there. 3 times 0 is 0. And then I subtract. 2 minus 0 is 2. Compare. Is the 2 smaller than the 3? It is, so I can move on and bring down my 6. I now have 26 divided by 3. 26 divided by 3 is 8. 3 times 8 is 24. And now I can subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2, and 2 minus 2 is 0. There's nothing left to bring down, and my 2 is smaller than my 3, so there's nothing left I can do, which means my answer is 108, remainder 2.